Hi again. Time for lab. So weird to do it this way, but hey, this way we stay on top and I was about to say stay on top and don't get behind, but that's kind of redundant. Anyway, this is about the scientific method. In the lecture video, we also cover the scientific method. That is kind of like a big thing for Bio 123 because you will also be doing a scientific method assessment later on in the term. That one I have no control over. Uh, I tell you how you have to remember the scientific method. I try my hardest to drill it into your head, and I promise you that it will be on every single exam this entire term. You will have to list the scientific method every single exam, and it has to be the one taught in this course. So if you just Google it, you're probably going to get it wrong. There are different versions of the scientific method, and I am very firm in mine. So let me go to the PowerPoint about your lab. So here we go. And I know I say so a lot, I'm trying, but whatever. Apparently, so is the word for today. You'll notice a lot of times I have a word. Nifty is one of the main ones. Anyway, scientific method, the lab. We have 7 steps. So I'm going to walk you through all of them. The first step is observation. First, you have to observe something. If you don't observe something, what's the point? The second one will be the question. So you make an observation and then you have a question. There are so many examples for this. I'm going to give you a couple at the end of this PowerPoint. And I also probably cover some in the lecture video because I always do. The one that was first told to me was something along the lines of, you notice that there's a lot of bees flying around a trash can. That's your observation. The question is, I wonder why there are bees there, huh? What is in the garbage can that's attracting those bees? Then you come up with your hypothesis. Your hypothesis is an if-then statement. The little info thing, the picture I have over there, please note that it has the wrong grammatical part. It should not be T-H-A-N. It should be T-H-E-N because it's comparison, not in order. So hypothesis contains the words if then. So for this one with the bees around the garbage can, I could say, if I look in the garbage can, then I will see a sugary soda that's been poured out, because that would let me know that's what's attracting the bees there. Prediction. This is so similar to the hypothesis, but it is not an if-then statement. I would love to not make you do prediction. However, when I was getting my degrees, that's what was drilled into my head. And so every time I do the scientific method, I have to do prediction. And so since I have to, you have to. Because the one term where I tried to not do it, I kept marking people wrong the whole term. So if then is your hypothesis, prediction is what's going to happen. Test. Same thing as an experiment. This is where you change one variable and see if you get the proper answer. Analyze the results. I always say analyze the results. You can say just results. You can say data or analyze data. You can say analyze. I say analyze the results because that's literally what you're doing. And so I can be a little pedantic on that one. But this is where you look at whatever you just collected, whether it's like super sciencey and you did all these measurements, or it's like you just looked in the trash can. That's analyzing the results. And then the 7th, the last one, is conclusion. You're done. So when you get to the conclusion, if you are correct, then you're like, huh, my hypothesis was correct, blah, blah, blah. If it was not correct, then you say my hypothesis was not correct. And then you formulate a new hypothesis and you do it again. Please note, none of these 7 steps are share the results. That is a different thing. That adds on to it, but that is not part of the official scientific method. So, altogether, Observation, question, hypothesis, prediction, test, analyze the results, conclusion. These are 7 steps. And in every single test, this will be worth 8 points because you will get 1 point for each step and 1 point for putting them in the right order. So I highly, 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 highly suggest start practicing this. Now, you are about to do it yourself. You're going to have to do your own real life example on how you use the scientific method. Pay attention to what I said in the video lecture about the scientific method and what I'm about to show you on the very next slide. You're going to have to list each step name, what it means, and provide the example. So that's the first part. So that means like observation, what it means. I observe something or I notice something, and then provide the example. I notice there are bees flying all around the trash can. And then question. Step 2, question. What does that mean? I formulate a question. I want to know why something happened. Example, why are the bees flying around the trash can? You have to do that for all 7 steps. Because when you do that, that lets me know you actually know what each step means. Then, after you have done this, you need 2 examples. One that says, yes, your hypothesis was correct. And then you go and do a completely different one that's unrelated. So if I just did the whole bee around the trash can thing, then the next one, I'm going to come up with a new one, which is what I have on the next slide. So the second example cannot be anything related to the first example. So the second example, I'm going to use a light bulb. So I go into a room, flip on the light switch, and the light does not turn on. I'm going to go through, and for that ending, my hypothesis is incorrect. So then I have to make a new hypothesis. So again, I'm going to show you how it goes. That means for this lab, you have to, 1, list every single step, telling me what it means and providing an example. Step 2 is coming up with a proper scientific method thing, example, like the bees, and filling it all in. You can use the examples that you used in step 1. That's fine. Then the third part will be what I'm going to show you on this last slide, where you have another thing that goes all the way through, but it's disproven, and then you continue. So here we go. This example, observation. I walk into the room, flip up the light switch, the light does not turn on. So my observation is the light did not turn on. Question, why did the light not turn on? I mean, that's a valid question. Hypothesis, if I change the light bulb, then the light will turn on. Notice, if then. So the hypothesis is if I change the light bulb, then the light will turn on. Prediction, when the light bulb is changed, the light will work. Test, change the light bulb. That's that one variable. Analyze the results. Flip up the switch. The light did not turn on. Conclusion, my hypothesis was not correct. It was a bad bulb. So that is my disproven example. Since my hypothesis was incorrect, it was not the bulb that needed to be changed. There's another issue. I need to start over. So now, what else could it be? Hypothesis number 2. If I flip the breaker, then the light will work. Prediction, when I flip the breaker, the light will turn on. Test, I flip the breaker. Analyze the results. Flip the switch, light now turns on. So now my hypothesis was correct. The breaker was flipped. Now my light works. So you're going to do this also. Make sure that it is only a single variable that you need to change. That is pretty much the entire lab. You can put it in a Word document and upload the Word document, or you can just type it in text. If you're going to type it in text, I suggest you type it in something and then copy and paste it in there just in case there's a glitch, because it is Moodle, it is computers, sometimes things happen. But you have 3 distinct things you have to do for this lab. If you have questions, please shoot me a message, ask, and I will answer. Do not wait until Sunday to ask me questions about the lab. because that's kind of late in the game. And that's going to let me know that you didn't even bother looking at crap until the very last day. But if you have questions, email me, ask me. I will answer absolutely to the best of my ability. And I don't know, look forward to seeing what you come up with. So, peace.